welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. This is the video for the cards for our Boho Indigo series. Now this is going to be a little bit different to my usual how to make it videos because they're all fairly straightforward, but more importantly you also have a step-by-step of each card showing you what I did and also the optional things that you can do on each card. The lovely thing about having the Boho Indigo kit is that you can make it your own. You can make this be what you want it to be. So it's entirely up to you if you do exactly what I do, or if you change it up completely, change it around, change the layout, change the orientation, change what bits and pieces you put on. But I will just go through for a few little tips, nothing major, but just a few little tips for you. Card number one, the tip for this is that I used the Gleaming Ornaments Duo punch to make the little bowl there, or vase, and so I've cut it out and then I'm going to trim. So I'm going to trim a little kind of semicircle out of the top and cut it straight across the bottom. That was not a very neat semicircle. Let's have another go. That one's a bit better, and you can see that's how you make that little bowl. The ribbon here, I've just secured it with a little bit of, you could use tear and tape, or you could use the Stampin' Seal and just secure it behind. And all the other goodies are out of the kit. I chose this little pretty little leaf image for the background, but choose whatever you like. And I also, on my final projects, decided to go for a piece of the embossed rather than plain. Mine is actually plain, but if you are making this with me, you will have that embossed there, but that's what is on the measurements, is that piece is embossed. These two similar, obviously they're kind of flipped in terms of again, this is the embossed pieces and where exactly you put it. When you're doing this, it doesn't really matter whether you put the embossed over the paper or the paper over the embossed. I did do it that way around with the embossed over the top. You can put a piece of ribbon, as I did on this one, over the join, or you could put a strip of cardstock if you prefer, or a strip of foil, entirely your choice. This flower is out of the kit, as is this greeting. The other bits were punched. One thing I am going to show you is how to do a fork bow. So have your reel of ribbon, if you've still got it on the reel, on the right hand side. Go across the front of the fork, go round the back of the fork, and then bring the tail across and go in between the two middle tines. Then bring that over the top and tie a knot. You can wind that back as many times as you like until you've got it, but once you've got it, it is simple. And then you're going to just trim off the sides, slide it off your fork, and you have a perfect little bow. If you happen to be doing this with a wider ribbon, it still works. You can, if you want to, adjust the size of the fork as well. Mine's just a regular dinner fork. Okay, so same thing again, coming with the reel on the right hand side, across the front, around the back, through the middle, so going down through the middle of those two tines, so down the middle, over the top in the middle again, and tie your knot. And then trim the edges and slide it off. You might want to trim that a little bit shorter because that is still those ends are a little bit long, but that will still go there. So you can see that whichever size ribbon, the fork bow works. I've used it in another couple of places on there, so when I say fork bow, that's the technique. Okay, so we've done our fork bow, and as I say, everything else just put on wherever you would wherever you would like. Let's have a look at the next ones. I've got 4 coming up next. This is on the next one. So this is number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. I don't know if that's quite in the right order, but you will see all the pictures. I don't know which order this is in, but I'm just going to show them to you like this. So this one I cut with the medium daisy punch. Again, that could be another sort of flower if you like. And again, I've wound the ribbon around the back of the piece of embossed card there. And I've got a 3/4 and a 1/2 inch, I think that's a 1/2 inch punch circle in the middle of the flower. You could use bling alternatively. This one also I have wound around. I think what I've done here is to just cut a little inch wide piece of foil, stuck the foil onto the designer paper, and then wound my ribbon round a couple of times and tied a bow there. All of the elements that are coming out of the pack and the punched items I've popped up with dimensionals. The vases, the regular vases, so that's this one, and I'm looking for a version of the other one. It's this little short one, are all from the Vase Builder punch, and when I was preparing this I punched 2 in foil and 1 in navy blue. So lots of little vases. You may be doing this with something different, but that is how I have done mine for my pieces. So again, here we've just got a panel of the embossed and 2 little flowers, the navy vase. Again, pick your choice of designer series paper, and remember that on the instructions all the measurements are there. So if you're cutting, when you're cutting and choosing and cutting your designer paper, just have a look where it says DSP strip in this case, DSP layer in this case, DSP layer in this case. All the measurements are actually on there, so you can see what is what I have used. But again, it's your project, feel free to change it up. This layer here, this background layer here, is out of the kit. It is actually one of the kind of tag or sentiment layers, but I thought it would be pretty popped up with a little vase. This one here is the big version of the ornament. I showed you the small one. Here's the big one, and again you can make yourself a little arc out of the top, chop off the bottom. If you want to, you can even flip this piece over and make a little, let's try and put that up against something so you can see. The light's horrible here today, I'm sorry. Hopefully you can see that, but you can make like a little base for your vase like so if you want to, but I didn't bother with that. I just left it flat like that, and that will make a vase. You can also do it the other way up. I'll show you that as well. So you can have this as your vase top and chop off and have that as the bottom, and that's actually how I've done that one there. So entirely your choice which way you chop, but you're just going to chop the top and the bottom, and that is the larger of the 2 gleaming ornaments punches. So I hope that kind of makes sense to you all. I don't think there's anything else especially to say on there. I've cut a little bit of foil there from the leftover foil, but as I say, entirely up to you how you do that. Let's move on to the next 3. So these are the last of the larger ones. And again, now that's just what I was explaining to you with chopping off the bottom and then making a little kind of base for the vase. I've done it there with the foil. This little chopped off piece, you will see in a moment, we are going to do with the triple banner punch. I used a piece there, chopped it off as long as I wanted it, but the piece that I cut off, it was pretty, it was shiny, I popped it on there. Again, you don't have to do that. All the measurements once again are available for you. This piece here is from the kit. Again, the leaves and flowers from the kit. And we've got a couple of the little vases which I have punched, and again this is the large ornament. So that's those, and then we have 5 note cards to show you as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I really went for it with a lot of the foil on here. So we've got a panel of foil. The tag is again from the kit, and I've punched these little pieces here. I think there was some on one of the other cards as well. These are the sprig punch, and I believe I punched 2 gold sprigs and 1 navy sprig on there. So that's that. I fed the ribbon through and secured it behind the navy blue before I stuck that down. So that's that one there. This was the one I've already showed you a little bit on there with the tag. Layered it up, wrapped the ribbon around, and again secured it behind. On the pieces that I cut, this piece is longer, so just to chop down the height that you want for that piece. And 3 more little vase ones. These are fairly standard. We've got the again the vases builder punch, leaves and flowers out of the kit. This one here I did 1 layer with the gold, and then I used the navy blue layer for that little one. Almost looks like it's got a shadow. That one popped up in front, and then this style vase behind, and then just used the flowers coming out of that that front one. But lots of bling. Only other thing to say is that this piece here, this foil piece here, I gutted. So in other words, I took what was going to be, if you imagine this is it, I took what was going to be my layer, and I popped the vases builder punch into it, punched out, obviously it was foil, and that's where I got one of my sets of punches. So that piece there has actually got holes in the back of it, but you'd never know, of course, because it's hidden underneath the beautiful embossed piece of cardstock. So that's that piece there. Okay, I think that's all I need to tell you for the cards. When you're making them, refer to the instructions. They are step by step, but also let your imagination take you and enjoy making every single of the 15 cards that you are going to be making. Thanks for visiting Elizabeth's Craft Room today.